Welcome everyone to a movie review for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which I saw today in IMAX 3D, and holy crap, it was amazing. Before I go any farther, I want to say this video will contain spoilers, but not right away. I'll let you guys know whenever that starts. It won't be for a few minutes, so I'm going to go over some non-spoiler stuff first. So, yeah, so first of all, I want to discuss what I thought of the characters. I thought they were all awesome, but I felt like some of them could have been developed better. But still, whenever the by the end of the movie, I was in love with all of them. All the actors did an amazing job as those characters, and it made me wish Rogue One wasn't just a standalone movie. Everyone was awesome. K2SO was just absolutely hilarious. And guys, this movie, it was just so intense. It was awesome. It was everything I wanted in a Star Wars movie. And by the end, those last 5 minutes, oh my goodness! I'm not gonna say anything yet because, like I said, this is a spoiler-free zone. But I was shaking, guys. That's how intense the last few minutes of the movie were. I loved it, guys. That was just awesome. It's my new favorite Star Wars movie. It just completely blew The Force Awakens out of the water like I thought it was gonna. So, guys, now we're getting into this. Now I'm gonna start going over some steps which will contain spoilers. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I'll give you a couple seconds to pause the video and click off. So yeah, I'll give you a couple seconds. Alright, if you stuck around one last time, there will be spoilers here. So, first of all, like I was going about earlier, the last 5 minutes or so of the movie was just so awesome. When Krennic got to see the Death Star, which he'd been obsessing with for the whole movie, end up blowing him up. That was just awesome because when they shot Scarif, and I thought they were just gonna shoot Jedha, but no, I was surprised they shot Scarif as well. And it wasn't a full blast, so the planets were still there. And then the part which I would have been wanting to see all year, where Darth Vader just came out and absolutely wasted some rebel soldiers. It was awesome. He just came through and just totally just sliced his way right through them, decapitated them, used the Force, just bashed them against the walls. And that last desperate attempt where they slid the plans right between the two ships, and just as he cut his way in, the ship at the beginning of the forward blasted off into hyperspace. And the captain, who he chokes at the beginning of that movie, gave the plans to Princess Leia, and the CGI done for Princess Leia and Grand Moff Tarkin were absolutely awesome. It looked like the real actors were playing them again from the original movie, it was just so awesome. Like, it really looked like it was not CGI. They looked absolutely real, and it was just awesome. And James Earl Jones did it also an amazing job as Darth Vader. Even though he only had 2 scenes in the movie, they were both pretty awesome. Oh my goodness. And one thing I kind of was disappointed with was that in the trailers we see scenes of them running across the beaches of Scarif, towards the AT-ACTs, and with the Death Star plans in their hands. That was all cut out of the movie. They don't ever get out of the building alive. Yeah. So whenever these characters, who, like I said, you just fall in love with during the movie, you get to see they just all die. They're all picked off one by one. He was the first one, Bodhi, and then no, he wasn't the first one. I don't know, it went by so fast, like, it was over 2 hours long, but it didn't feel like it. But yeah, we gotta see these 3, they all died first. These 2 got killed by Death Troopers, he got killed by an explosion, and then these 2 were killed when the Death Star shot Scarif. Saw Gerrera, the character from the Clone Wars, he was awesome, even though he had very limited screen time, but yeah, I enjoyed his character, and he did Forrest Whitaker did an awesome job, and I felt really sad whenever he died in the explosion of Jedha. Yeah, but, the whole movie was awesome. It got right into the action. It did not delay. I was wondering how they were going to open it up, because there was an opening crawl. They did it perfectly. And the sense of scale they gave the Death Star, it was so awesome that it was like a scale we've never seen before. And when they revealed that the Death Star can go in hyperspace, I was like, what? It was so cool, and, we get to actually see stormtroopers sometimes actually hit what they're aiming at in this movie, which, was kind of different. And when the Rebel fleet attacked Scarif, the groups who attacked first, who snuck in, they were getting overwhelmed, and they were getting chased down by the AT-ACTs. Then the Rebels showed up, and they had reinforcements on the ground. It was like D-Day in Star Wars. It was awesome. The none of these characters that attacked really made it out alive, except for the ones who managed to jump into hyperspace at the end of the film. But yeah, and then R2 and D2 and C3PO did have a small part in the movie. They C3PO was like, Scarif, why don't they ever tell me these things as they were taking off? And R2 was just, yeah, it was cool seeing those two again. I didn't really go in depth on him, but K2SO, like I said, I loved him. He was hilarious. He was, oh my goodness, I just loved his part so much, and he was making me laugh throughout the entire movie, and I was really sad whenever he got just blown apart by the stormtroopers. It was one of the few times I actually hit what they're aiming at, but he just got overwhelmed. There was like dozens of them. Yeah. Another thing I was kind of disappointed in was that the hover tank from all the trailers pretty much like had 2 minutes of screen time, and it barely didn't do anything, and all of Saw Gerrera's rebels all died. Like you guys. There was also, along with the Black Death Troopers and the Shore Troopers, there was another new type of Stormtrooper introduced. The Scout Troopers from Endor. There was a black variant of them. You actually didn't get to see one, but one of the rebels had stolen one uniform, so it was an all-black Scout Trooper. I really wish they had actually used those characters more in the movie, because I was really interested in that. That basically confirms Shadow Troopers, which didn't appear in the movie, but if they had, it would have made it all the more better since they have a cloaking ability. But I just love this movie. It's definitely my new favorite Star Wars movie, and I really hope that they well, I don't know where I was going there, but I really hope that they do something else with some of these other characters at some point, like a prequel or something that tells some of their other origin story, because there's a lot they could do with these characters, even though they all died in this movie, there's a lot they could do, and I really feel like they could do something. But I was, like I said earlier, kind of disappointed in some of the other stuff that was in like all the trailers of them running around the beaches with the Death Star plans, and the part where they're in the first trailer where they're running towards the AT-ACTs and it shoots right at them. That was all cut out. So, like I said earlier, that was something I was disappointed in. But overall, I loved the entire movie, and I think they did a very good job. And I'm looking forward to reading the novelization, which actually already did start, but I didn't get very far yet. I just got to the point where they're on Jedha. But yeah, it gets right into the action, guys, and if you're a Star Wars fan, and if you're not a Star Wars fan, you're going to like this movie, because you don't have to know what Star Wars is to watch this movie, because it's its own contained story, and it made for an excellent movie, and it tied in with The New Hope perfectly, and yeah, only thing I wonder is, because at the end of the movie, the ship having the Death Star plans jumps into hyperspace, and at the beginning of A New Hope, it wasn't. So I wonder how they got pulled out of hyperspace. I'm assuming a Star Destroyer just used its tractor beam or something, but I don't know. But guys, it was, like I said, it just blew The Force Awakens out of the water, and it was awesome. I loved everything about it. I really loved Darth Vader's awesome action scene. It was short, like a minute long, but it was so awesome. Yeah, guys, I felt like the Death Troopers could have had a little bit more screen time and a little bit more action, because they only had one action scene in the movie, but, whatever. It was an awesome movie, and I loved it. I just absolutely loved it, and like I said, any Star Wars fan will enjoy this. Like, even though at times I didn't even feel like Star Wars, because it's a lot more dark, much more gritty, much more brutal, but then they threw humor in there, and it made it perfect. Like, there's a part where Chirrut is using that staff he's holding right there, and he just stabs the stormtrooper in the foot, and he goes, "How's your foot?" That made me laugh, because that was pretty funny, guys. He was awesome, and him and Baze both were very awesome characters, and yeah, it was really sad to see them both die, but all the characters I felt went out in a blaze of glory, and it definitely did justice to the Star Wars universe. I give the movie 10 out of 10, and definitely recommend it to everybody. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Go check this movie out for yourself, and it will blow you away, even if you don't see it in IMAX 3D or 3D at all. It will blow you away. It's awesome. Alright, guys, so that's all for this review, and I'll probably do the same for Star Wars Episode 8 when it comes out next December. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.